This is Regained Wellness Supplement Review. Today I review CanadianProtein.com. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to the Regained Wellness Supplement Review, which is pardon the pun, supplementary show I do on top of the regular podcast. And something I thought might be beneficial, as I've not only worked in a lot of gyms in a lot of different countries around the world doing personal training, but I've also managed nutrition stores and nutrition centers and supplement stores. And I've basically seen every product known to man somewhat, and tried them all. When I was a manager of a supplement center, I had, whatever's coming through, I had to, stand behind. So I would try everything that would come through so I could see how it held up, but also I like to be able to give legitimate reviews on stuff, and I can say, well, here's how I found it worked for me. You might not find the same situation, but at least I can talk from experience. So I thought I would do that with this show here. So I'm not endorsed or have any connection to any of these products. They're just things I personally use or I've come across and tried at various points, and you might find informative, or if you're looking to try something similar. And also, to start out, obviously a supplement is exactly what it sounds like. It's a supplement. It's in addition to a core, very sound nutrition, not program, but lifestyle and outlook into your day-to-day life. So what you're looking at is having a well-rounded, balanced diet that's rich in whole foods. I mean, if you're looking at your dinner plate, it still should be essentially a plant-based diet. I think you should be having multiple, double-digit servings of vegetables a day, primarily green leafy vegetables. The darker, the better. Protein-wise, I think you're looking at the cleanest sources you can find, ideally grass-fed and grass-finished, like beef, free-range chicken. Fish is probably, if you can find really good salmon, stuff like that, it's probably your best choice. And then, on top of that, the good healthy fats like olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, nuts and seeds. Then you can add in things, like dark chocolate here and there. Ideally, at least 70% cacao in that dark chocolate. And then when that's all in place, that's when supplementation can kind of take things to the next level, depending on what your goals are. So today I'm looking at my favorite supplement company, hands down, CanadianProtein.com. And I first found, I think a couple of years ago, I was looking for New Zealand grass-fed whey protein, which is a little more prevalent now. You can find it in more places, but not that it was hard to find a few years ago. But if you're looking at proteins, especially whey protein, the New Zealand grass-fed is ultimately the cleanest form you can find. If you've been to New Zealand, I lived there for a while. The country is so pristine and so untouched by so much crap and industry and pollution and whatnot. And the same thing goes with the animals. They have, there's more sheep in New Zealand than there are people. And the concept of, hormone treated animals and stuff like that, and growth hormones and, whatever they're using to get these animals bigger, produce, a larger, yield of whatever it is, like lean ground beef, milk, whatever. That concept's pretty foreign to them. So the animals there are living in a natural, pretty, organic environment, and they're eating food or grass wherever they roam with, untouched, and it's pesticide free, and the animals are hormone free. So it leads to a cleaner product. So with New Zealand whey, it's one of the, purest forms of whey protein. I don't know if that's something that's going to change as over, now with things like that being more prevalent and more desired, the New Zealand grass-fed, whatever, if it's the actual protein itself or if it's, lean ground beef or whatever, as that demand grows, I don't know if that's something that'll, slowly creep in to the country, just as far as, farmers seeing the amount of profit that can be made and what can happen when there's a higher yield of either animals or the size or whatnot. But as of right now, the country is very adamant to keep these things as clean and as natural as possible. So that's what I was looking for, was good New Zealand grass-fed whey, and I found it through this company called CanadianProtein.com, which is based out of Windsor, Ontario, and that's right on the border with the U.S., right across the river from Detroit. And I live in London, Ontario, which is just a couple hours down the way. Oh, another brutal joke, not whey protein, just down the way from CanadianProtein.com. So the amazing thing with them is not only is these super clean products, especially in the New Zealand whey range, it's the value of this company is unbelievable, where you're getting the products at just such a lower rate than what you would find in the stores. I mean, like the average, in the supplement stores near me, the average 2-pound tub of whey protein from, whether it's, I don't know, say like, not that they're lower quality brands, but like Allmax or whoever, and they're at least always like $39 just for 2 pounds. At CanadianProtein.com, their whey protein concentrate is $24.99 Canadian for 2.2 pounds. And when you change that over, if that was American, I mean, what's that? $18, give or take a bit. I mean, to me, it's even a better value than what's that stuff that Walmart carries, that Pro Athlete or the Six, whatever their kind of house brand. I think it was made by Muscle Tech or has some connection with Muscle Tech or whatever. And this is still a better value. They do free shipping over $99, which is good. And I think the flat rate shipping is $9.99. And I'm pretty sure they do ship to the States now. And I'm not sure what that cost would be compared. Like I'm on the Canadian site, so it links that information. So I don't know if you're outside the US, depending on however you access their website, what the actual shipping is. But as far as I know, they do ship to the US. The advantage I have is, being right up the road pretty much. I mean, the stuff I've had a shipment come in a day and a half once. It was that quick. I've never had it take more than 3 days. And that would have probably been not my fault, but I just, I ordered it on a Saturday night knowing whatever business time by the time it came around. And it's still that quick, but free shipping over $99. With the protein flavors, it's honestly some of the best protein I've tried flavor-wise. I'm not, like I said, I've tried every flavor of everything ever invented. I don't really care. I mean, I just kind of get it down the hatch. I'd rather, if I know the quality's good on something, it could taste like absolute crap and I won't mind. But these all are actually way, way above average, I'd say, taste-wise. Their core flavors they do this is with the proteins. They do banana cream pie, they do a Canadian maple, it's a cappuccino, chocolate milkshake, chocolate peanut butter. That's the one I usually get the most, and they actually use real peanut flavoring in there. There's a Cinnabon. They do cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, original chocolate, strawberry banana, vanilla. So I usually get the chocolate milkshake or the chocolate peanut butter. But what I also did for a while is the awesome thing they do is straight unflavored and unsweetened protein. So that I'll mix myself when I'd make my own shakes. I'd usually get like raw cocoa powder and mix that in. Sometimes I'd add in like a bit of cinnamon, or if I'm making my own kind of like a meal replacement thing, I'd take that unflavored, unsweetened protein. I'd mix in some raw like almond butter or peanut butter, add that raw cacao powder or cocoa powder, depending on what you're using. Throw in a half a banana, stuff like that. So that stuff works amazing for kind of creating your own concoction. The one thing I wasn't a huge fan of is that there's some sucralose used in the products. And I just did a whole show on aspartame and artificial sweeteners. I'm just not a huge fan. And again, depending on who you talk to or what you read, there might not necessarily be connection, like, health problems related to artificial sweeteners. I see a lot of stuff that's, sometimes says yes. But it's, it's in a smaller concentration, and the same thing, you just might not like the actual aftertaste. You can sometimes pick up from that. But what CanadianProtein.com does, I don't know if this was something they took the initiative on already, or if it was something that was, customer feedback. And in either case, it's amazing. They do not just the unflavored and unsweetened ones, they do more of a naturally flavored version, and they'll use stevia in it. So So I mean, you have the options to get whatever. So it's a little bit more expensive, but not that much to get, the whey protein concentrate with stevia. The other ones have, like I said, a bit of sucralose. I know it's not a lot, but just depending on how you feel on artificial sweeteners and whatnot. So yeah, looking at some of the other proteins here. So they're all natural, grass-fed New Zealand whey protein. The concentrate with stevia, only $34.99. They do an isolate as well, the New Zealand whey, for $44.99, which is absurdly good deal. If you've been in, I mean, I don't know if I've seen any grass-fed whey, New Zealand grass-fed whey in a supplement store that's under $70, honestly. One of the advantages when you're dealing with just like a straight protein company here, or sorry, supplement company, you're saving money on packaging and advertising and having the product, look good, to stand out on a store shelf. They use a simple bag, sort of, it's like a Ziploc sealable type one, and it's just a white bag. It's got half a Canadian maple leaf and a few stars around. It actually looks really good. I think, to me, like if that was in a store, it would actually stand out and kind of pop off the shelves, because a lot of those supplements have so much crap and kind of busy logos and labels that there's a mess of them, and then the whole shelf looks like one big blend of all these different companies mixed together. But the Canadian protein packaging and advertising actually looks awesome, I think. So that's one of the advantages too. When you deal with like a wholesaler, you're saving money on all that sort of stuff. So the advantage, obviously, protein goes beyond just building and repairing muscle. That's one of its, important roles, but it also is, involved in, hormone production, immune system function, things like that. And the issue with whey protein, if you've not been aware of before, if should you use it, and what's the value of whey protein? Whey protein just has a higher, what they call biological value, as far as how your body uses it, absorbs it, digests it. It's more of like the cleanest version of fuel. When you look at whey protein, you're looking at what is, you remember the rhyme, the Little Miss Muffet and the curds in the whey and all that thing. So when you're looking at whey protein, it comes about from the production of cheese. It's a byproduct of cheese production. So they separate the caseins in the milk. The whey is left over. It's made up of things like beta lactoglobulins and alpha lactoglobulins, all these sort of things that increase its biological value. So whey protein is considered a complete protein, like a lot of, the usual like beef and chicken and fish and all those things. And it has all the 9 essential amino acids. And so when we're looking at what they call the BV, the biological value, it's the way they measure the quality of a protein. So an egg white is the standard of which biological value is measured, and it's at a perfect 100. That's considered the benchmark for quality protein. So things like beef have around an 80% biological value because it's got other things in there and fat and whatnot. Whole milk is a little higher. It's at a 91. Whey protein is 104 on this scale. So that's how clean and efficiently it is used by the body. So that's the advantage of using whey protein. And in the powder form, if you're working out, it's absorbed quicker. It doesn't have to be digested and processed. It's just down the hatch. When I use it, I always mix it just with water. When you have it, if you mix it with milk or something like that, it slows the absorption time a little. It's still a liquid. It doesn't have to be broken down and digested like a steak would or whatnot. But it's like the fat content of milk and whatever, it slows it down a little. So I just prefer straight water to get it down. If you want to learn more, I have entire podcasts and blogs all about protein. I won't get into more here because that's hours of conversation. But if you go to regainedwellness.com/Canadian protein on about this episode, I'll link in some of these episodes I did on whey protein specifically, amino acids, the whole deal, just if you want a little more information. So CanadianProtein.com is not just protein. I think originally that was kind of the basis of it, but now it's a full, well-rounded supplement company. And you can get pretty much anything you can think of from there. So They do everything from, bulk protein powders. They do protein bars. Supplement wise, they have amino acid supplements, creatine, herbal supplements, joints, pre-workout things, omega-3, like basically anything you'd want, vitamin, minerals, everything from there. So lately, a few other products I've been getting are their branched chain amino acids, and I like using them kind of mid-workout. Again, a lot of information just on branched chain amino acids, but they're the kind of core 3 amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, that are most kind of prominent in the muscles. And the difference between them and the other amino acids is where other amino acids are processed by the liver and whatnot, the branched chain amino acids really bypass the liver and they go more directly to the muscle, so they can be used for muscle energy. They can help with, in training and workout scenarios, help with preventing, muscle breakdown earlier and starting the recovery process a little earlier too. They have more of a positive effect on good like natural growth hormones, and they also are seen to kind of stifle those stress hormones, things like cortisol and whatnot, that would kind of prevent recovery and whatnot. So branched chain amino acids are awesome supplement if you're training hard and you're in the gym. So that's another product I've been liking from them. I always get creatine from them, again, just straight normal creatine. Another supplement that's probably the most studied and researched of probably all supplements, maybe along with protein and whatnot, and has really good practical implications for people, again, who are training or athletes, or if you want to put on muscle, if you want to get stronger. It helps replace if you remember back to high school biology, you have the ATP in your body, and that's what kind of your muscle energy is, and when it wastes or when it's used, turns into ADP. Creatine supplementation basically adds that phosphate molecule back onto the ADP, and turns it back into the ATP. So it basically your muscles have a little more explosive, high energy time left in them. So where say if you're a sprinter, it helps you get that last few meters out. If you're doing some high intensity like weight training, it might get you those couple extra reps, and that's what's building strength and fitness and everything like that. Not the ideal supplement if you're like a long distance runner, but I still think it does have some positive effects there. It also helps with muscle protein synthesis, so actually building and repairing and making more muscle. It helps with what they call cell volumization, where there's more water that goes into the muscle cell, not water as far as like a bloating effect, but into the actual cell. And that's what muscle fiber is. It's protein and water, and if you want it to look bigger and get stronger and be bigger and stronger, that's where creatine has a big advantage. So I get that from them too. I've tried some of their omega-3 supplements just for, helping, it's your natural anti-inflammatory with that. There's a ton of stuff. So you basically just have to go on to CanadianProtein.com. So, yeah, my favorite company by far, I haven't been into a supplement store in years because of these guys and all the good stuff they do, and it's kind of your one-stop shop for everything. I have the advantage that I'm close by, so shipping's amazing, free shipping over $99, and then the flat rate of $9.99. So definitely check them out. Like I said, my only issue is that you find some of these artificial sweeteners and stuff in some of the products, and some like the branched chain amino acid supplements and whatnot, but they are, again, that's up to you. You might not think it's an issue, or you just might not like that aftertaste, but it's not even that prevalent in some of the products. And the branched chain amino acid supplements, they all taste amazing. I think it's the green sour apple. They're honestly all good, like amazingly good, considering the value and the price point on some of these things. So check them out, CanadianProtein.com. That's all I'll do right now. Next week I'll be back normal podcast, and we'll be doing sort of that yearly avoiding holiday weight gain and trying to keep on top of your fitness and nutrition during this onslaught of calories and whatever that's coming our way, which we all love, but it's just kind of like managing it the best as possible. So I'll give you some good tips I think work well to still enjoy everything that's going on, but not let it just absolutely dismantle all the good progress and work you've done in the last year and whatnot. Okay, that's it for me. If there's any other, like I said, if you want to see more resources on everything today, regainedwellness.com/Canadian protein, and I'll link up all those other episodes and more information you might want to see on supplement issue and proteins and whatnot. And if there's any supplements or things you want to see reviewed, just write me at info@regainedwellness.com and hopefully I'll get to it. I mean, there's so many I'll be doing over the next year they're covering because there's just so many things I've tried. But if there's anything specific, just hit me up there and see what we can do. Okay, that's it for me. Talk to you later. Bye.